भगवते वासुदेवाय। नित्यानन्दं शैवानुरूपमं देवीं सरस्वतीं व्यासं ततो जयमुदीरये। नष्टप्रायेषु भद्रेषु नित्यं भागवतसेवया भगवती तमाश्लोके भक्तिर्भवति नैष्टिके। सोमज्ञानातिमन्दस्य ज्ञानञ्जनशलाकः चक्षुरुन्मिलितं येन तस्मै श्रीगुरुवे नमः। श्रीचैतन्यमनोभीष्टं स्थापितं येन भूतले स्वयं रूपा कदा मह्यं ददाति स्वपदान्तिकम्। वन्देऽहं श्रीगुरो श्रीयुतापदकमलं श्रीगुरुं वैष्णवांश्च श्रीरूपं साग्रजातं सहगण रघुनाथं विकन्तं सजीवं साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनसहितं कृष्णचैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सहगणललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितंश्च हे कृष्ण करुणा सिन्धु दीनबन्धु जगत्पते गोपेश गोपिका कान्त राधा कान्त नमस्ते। तप्त काञ्चन गौराङ्गी राधे वृन्दावनेश्वरी वृषभानुसुते देवी प्रणमामि हरिप्रिये। वाञ्छकल्पतरुभ्यश्च कृपा सिन्धुभ्य एव च पतितानां पावनेभ्यो वैष्णवेभ्यो नमो नमः। जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौर भक्तवृंद। हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे। पराय कृष्ण की सर्वजनिक प्रभुपाद प्रिय श्री गिरिराज स्वामी सुभद्रा बिहारी कृष्ण पृष्ठाय विद्युत श्रीमती भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी जी नामी। नमस्ते सारस्वती देवी गौरवाणी प्रचारिणी निर्विशेष शून्यवादी वाचाल पंगुम लंगायते गिरिं यत्कृपा तमहं वन्दे श्री गुरु दीनतारिणम्। Just one minute. All right, so we are reading Srimad Bhagavad Gita. We are on chapter 18, the perfection of renunciation, and today we are completing this wonderful spiritual treatise on the science of the soul, super soul, relationship between soul and super soul, between material nature, the interrelationship between material nature and the process to understand this knowledge. The essence of all Vedic literature, which is to worship Krishna, the method by which to know Krishna. So now let us complete this text. 76. Rajan samskritya samvadam imam adbhutam keshavarjuna yogunyam vishyami cha muhurmuhu. O king, as I repeatedly recall this wondrous and holy dialogue between Krishna and Arjuna, I take pleasure being thrilled at every moment. The understanding of Bhagavad Gita is so transcendental that anyone who becomes conversant with the topics of Arjuna and Krishna becomes righteous, and he cannot forget such talks. This is the transcendental position of spiritual life. In other words, one who hears the Gita from the right source, directly from Krishna, attains full Krishna consciousness. The result of Krishna consciousness is that one becomes increasingly enlightened, and he enjoys life with a thrill, not only for some time, but at every moment. So we had read this last week. So anyone who becomes conversant with the topics of Arjuna and Krishna becomes righteous. Dharmic. Prabhupada is saying righteous meaning dharmic. And he cannot forget such thoughts. Do we remember Bhagavad Gita in our life?
Sometimes, Mataji.
Oh, that's the problem, right? With all of us.
Yes.
The time we forget Bhagavad Gita.
Very difficult to remember Bhagavad Gita when you are provoked. And that is when you actually should remember.
Yeah, and therefore we are unhappy. Here Prabhupada is saying the result of Krishna consciousness, meaning if you remember Bhagavad Gita will be Krishna conscious, right? The result of Krishna consciousness that one becomes increasingly enlightened and he enjoys life with a thrill, not only for some time, but at every moment, right? So that's why we are unhappy, we are disturbed. Yeah? Forget Krishna. We forget the conversation, instructions, the knowledge that Krishna is giving to Arjuna, we forget. Right? This is the nature of the conditioned soul. That's why we are here. We know all this. The soul already, but we forget. And therefore we act and react. Text 77. Tatcha samskritya rupamathyadbhutam harihe vismayo me mahan rajan vishyami cha punah punah. Oh, king. All right. Maharaj, read it.
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Translation: O King, as I remember the wonderful form of Lord Krishna, I am struck with wonder more and more, and I rejoice again and again. Purport by His Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. It appears that Sanjaya also, by the grace of Vyasa, could see the universal form Krishna exhibited to Arjuna. It is, of course, said that Lord Krishna had never exhibited such a form before. It was exhibited to Arjuna only, yet some great devotees could also see the universal form of Krishna when it was shown to Arjuna, and Vyasa was one of them. He is one of the great devotees of the Lord, and he is considered to be a powerful incarnation of Krishna. Vyasa disclosed this to his disciple Sanjaya, who remembered that wonderful form of Krishna exhibited to Arjuna and enjoyed it repeatedly.
System. What is the system here of seeing Krishna?
Guru Parampara, through discipline.
How it happened?
Through Vyasdev to Sanjay. Krishna to Arjuna and Vyasdev to Sanjay. Vyasdev to Sanjay. Krishna showed it to Arjuna, and then through Vyasdev, Sanjay showed.
So who saw the form actually? Who saw that form?
Vyasadev and
Vyasadeva.
Vyasadeva saw.
Yeah. So that form, that universal form that Krishna exhibited, supposed to be only for Arjuna, right? But Srila Vyasadeva also saw it. Remember who has given us this Bhagavad Gita?
Srila Vyasadeva.
Yeah, Srila Vyasadeva. Right? Real history, no? It's not just fiction. So So it was exhibited to Arjun only, but Krishna allowed, Krishna is very kind. When he's being kind to one devotee, because of one devotee, he's showing himself. But those who are around, right? Selected few. So Vyasadeva had some work to do also, right? Because remember, Arjun is a Kshatriya, right? He's a Kshatriya. He's going to go on the battlefield, isn't it? Or is he going to sit down and teach Bhagavad Gita to all of us? Right? Who will teach Bhagavad Gita? Vyasadeva, yes, correct. So Krishna, when he's doing one thing, he does it in a very logical way, systematic way. So others are also saying proper, not like who saw one part of this universal form. Dhritarashtra even got eyes, right? Few people saw in the assembly when Krishna came as the messenger Dut. What's that? Peace Shanti.
Sandhi Dut.
Hmm?
Sandhi Dut.
Sandhi Dut, that's how you call it.
Yes,
Sandhi.
Dut.
What is the meaning of
Sandhi, to make them संधि कराना, मतलब दोनों को मिला देना कि लड़ाई मत करो.
The mediator.
Mediator.
the mediator?
Yes.
Sandhi Dut, all right. So then Krishna did show some section of his form. And even Duryodhana heard about it, but he didn't change his mind. And Dhritarashtra saw for one moment and then he became blind again. Right? So sometimes, blind people, they become excited to see something when they hear about something special, even though it's not their style, it's not their nature. But they become curious, let me go and see what's going on. And then they again sink back and become their own self. The majority of people are like this, right? You don't want to be like this. We have studied the entire Bhagavad Gita. I said, now, okay, I've studied, close the book and let me relax and go on with my own life. And I remember when here in Bombay, this Taj Hotel, right? Taj Hotel was attacked. And it was such a terrible thing, such a terrible thing. Like Bombay was like shaking. No, that up there with terrorists. And then it said that, but very soon the Mumbaikar will again settle in their routine life. Right? It's exactly what happened. Mumbaikar can take anything in their life. So we don't want to be like this. We have heard nicely about Bhagavad Gita, then we are going to close the book and relax. Right? And wait for it to take us up. No. So Srila Vyasadeva, he saw. So meaning that this conversation was not meant for Arjun only, it was meant for the entire world. And therefore, Krishna gave the vision to Srila Vyasadeva also, because Srila Vyasadeva is he's like the compiler, the disciplic succession of knowledge. Knowledge is not transmitted through the Kshatriyas. It is transmitted through the Brahmanas, right? So Arjuna, he's going to facilitate the Brahmanas, right? So he will protect the Brahmana. All right, so the war, why is he fighting? Krishna is saying, you fight, do your own duty, do your own work, so that Srila Vyasadeva can do his work. Follow? Like right now, book distribution becomes very difficult. This thing, preaching Krishna consciousness becomes very difficult. Maybe not so much in India, but elsewhere, right? Because if there's no government support, how will you do it? right? So Srila Vyasadeva, so he saw, Prabhupada is saying, he saw. And when he saw and asked, see, there is a good reason, just see how merciful Krishna is. Krishna is with Arjuna the chariot. He's speaking to Arjuna, all right? But he's allowing Srila Vyasadeva to also hear the conversation because there is a target also, right? Who is he targeting? Krishna. Who is he targeting? The story of Bhagavad Gita.
Dhritarashtra?
Yes. Krishna doesn't give up the old uncle, right? The blind old uncle. He didn't, I mean, just see the mercy of Krishna. He didn't give him up. So Krishna's allowing Srila Vyasadeva to see. And Srila Vyasadeva is relating because Krishna knows that Dhritarashtra is sitting in the camp and wants to know what is going on here. So Krishna never gives up hope. He really doesn't give up hope upon anybody. So Srila Vyasadeva is saying Sanjay, and he's passing on. Vyasadeva was he's one of the great devotees of the Lord, and he's considered to be a powerful incarnation of Krishna. Vyasa disclosed this to his disciple Sanjaya, who remembered that wonderful form of Krishna exhibited to Arjuna and enjoyed it repeatedly. So Sanjaya is also a great soul. Battle of Kurukshetra is something extremely intricate. So Sanjay is the secretary of Dhritarashtra. Was he also his charity? I can't remember. Sanjay, was he also his Dhritarashtra's charity?
Yes, yes, Mataji.
No, he was.
Yes.
Because Sanjay also was in the battle. And, in this battle of Kurukshetra, he was also going in that battle. Anyway, this Mahabharata is so complicated. But I don't know whether 1 lakh verse, right? 1 lakh shlokas. I mean, how much brain do you require, right? So now we've come to the famous last verse. And then Krishna has stopped speaking, all right? And now Sanjaya is speaking, meaning Guru is having the last word. All right? Guru has the last word. Meaning that's the verdict of Guru now. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdhara, Yatra Shri Vijayo Bhutir, Dhruvanitir Matir Nama. Where, okay, all right. Shikala, read. You read one paragraph, we'll read, okay?
Thank you, Mataji. Hare Krishna. Wherever there is Krishna, the master of all mystics, and wherever there is Arjuna, the supreme archer, there will also certainly be opulence, victory, extraordinary power, and morality. That is my opinion. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada, Srila Prabhupada. The Bhagavad Gita began with an inquiry of Dhritarashtra. He was hopeful of the victory of his sons, assisted by great warriors like Bhishma, Drona, and Karna. He was hopeful that the victory would be on his side. But after describing the scene on the battlefield, Sanjay told the king, "You are thinking of victory, but my opinion is that where Krishna and Arjuna are present, there will be all good fortune." He directly confirmed that Dhritarashtra could not expect victory for his side. Victory was certain for the side of Arjun because Krishna was there. Krishna's acceptance of the post of charioteer for Arjun was an exhibition of another opulence. Krishna is full of all opulences, and renunciation is one of them. There are many instances of such renunciation, for Krishna is also the master of renunciation.
Right. Okay, so let's read this. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. I think this is a favorite verse, right? The benediction of reading. It's just like such kindness that at the end of a study, this is Swadhyay, like what we have done for so many months, years. With breaks in between. So a benediction is given. What is a benediction? Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna. So this Krishna is Yogeshwar. His master mysticism, meaning what is impossible becomes possible. Right? Master mysticism. And what is unknown becomes known. Yatra Yogeshwara Krishna, Yatra Partho Dhanurdharaha. So this Parth, Arjun, is Dhanurdharaha. So he's holding a bow. The carrier of the bow and arrow. Why this carrier of bow and arrow? How does it apply to us? We can speculate as much as we like. It's okay. How does it apply to us?
मेरे समझ में जो आ रहा है मतलब इसका मतलब कि हमें भी ऐसे अर्जुन की तरह तैयार रहना चाहिए हर फील्ड को ये करने के लिए और कृष्ण की बात को मानने और सुनने के लिए और जीवन में जो भी उतार चढ़ाव दुख तकलीफ आती है उसको सहने के लिए
Yeah, that's a good idea, right? Yeah, anybody? How you feeling this Dhanurdhara? Mala, you're saying something?
Mataji, I may be wrong, but I feel that in my perception, the bow and arrow could be our karma, and we could just, we could follow Krishna's instructions and use the bow to throw the right arrows. I don't know.
Achieve a goal, yeah? Achieve a goal, right?
Yes,
Meaning
yes,
arrow, right?
yes, yes,
Be focused.
yeah,
It's not a joke to come out from the cycle of birth and death, right?
yes.
So if we are not focused, I mean, Arjuna is getting good thrashing here, right? And so now he's standing up straight with his bow and arrow. and archer, supreme archer, meaning Lakshan has to be fixed, right? And the bow and the arrow has to be released, or we are just going to hold the bow, right? Then what will be the result? So if Krishna and Arjuna, they are together, meaning guru and disciple will be together, right? Soul and super soul will be together. The director and the director will be together, not separate, but together. One obedient to the other, right? what will be the result? There will be opulence, Shri, meaning we will never lack anything in our life. People in so much anxiety, how they will eat, where they will live, how much in the news is coming now, how people are just losing their job. I'm hearing, from one country, they're migrating from one country to the next. It's quite horrible. Across the world, they are going back to their country of origin, and sometimes they have nothing in their country of origin. Such an inflow of people from one country back to your own country, everybody back to your own country. No more migration to another country. So much anxiety about how I will live. And main issue is about retired people. How will they survive? So here, the benediction is, if we are Krishna conscious, if we are with Krishna, the benediction is Shri. All right, Shri. Second, Vijaya, we are going to overcome victory, overcome any obstacle in our life. Extraordinary power, meaning that it's not your own power. It's Krishna's power, right? I don't want to describe what happened in the Battle of Kurukshetra, right? When Krishna and Arjuna were there, that extraordinary power and morality, all right? If you want nitihi, morality. So, Bhishma, Drona, Karna, everybody was on his side. But Sanjay told the king, you are thinking of victory, but my opinion that where Krishna and Arjuna are present, there will be all good fortune, meaning that victory will be on the other side, not on your side. Victory was certain for the side of Arjuna because Krishna was there. Krishna's acceptance of the course of charity for Arjuna was an exhibition, another opulence. What was that opulence?
मतलब जरूरत पड़ने पर भगवान उनके सारथी बन गए मतलब.
Yeah, so what was the particular opulence?
The renunciation.
Renunciation, yes, renunciation. So maybe I told you the story of Salia, right? Salia. So after Bhishma was killed, then Karna became the commander-in-chief. And then he said, but I need a charioteer who's as good as Krishna. All right. So he chose Salya. And Salya was a Kshatriya. And Karna was that Sutaputra, right? So Salya was so insulted. What? You should become my charioteer. So, but what's the big deal? Just see our Vasudev, he's become, right? Charioteer of Arjuna, what's the big deal, right? Big deal is a super big deal, right? Now we know. It's one of his opulence. Salya, the jeev, is feeling insulted, right? Yeah, okay. Who's reading? Anupama?
Krishna. The fight was actually between Duryodhan and Yudhishthira. Arjun was fighting on behalf of his elder brother Yudhishthira. Because Krishna and Arjun were on the side of Yudhishthira, Yudhishthira's victory was certain. The battle was to decide who would rule the world. And Sanjaya predicted that the power would be transferred to Yudhishthira. It is also predicted here that Yudhishthira, after gaining victory in this battle, would flourish more and more, because not only was he righteous and pious, but he was also a strict moralist. He never spoke a lie during his life. There are many less intelligent persons who take Bhagavad Gita to be a discussion of topics between two friends on a battlefield. But such a book cannot be scripture. Some may protest that Krishna incited Arjuna to fight, which is immoral, but the reality of the situation is clearly stated. Bhagavad Gita is the supreme instruction in morality. The supreme instruction of morality is stated in the 9th chapter, in the 34th verse, Manmana bhava mad bhakta. One must become a devotee of Krishna, and the essence of all religion is to surrender unto Krishna, sarvadharman parityajya, mamekam sharanam braja. The instructions of Bhagavad Gita constitute the supreme process of religion and of morality. All other processes may be purifying and may lead to this process, but the last instruction of the Gita is the last word in all morality and religion: surrender unto Krishna. This is the verdict of the 18th chapter.
Yeah. So now, sport of morality, isn't it? Such a huge debate and battle, and right? Krishna caused the war, right? And some people, they so weak, or they're deliberately inimical to Krishna. So they incite innocent people to believe that actually, if you keep Bhagavad Gita in your home, then there'll be Kurukshetra in your house. If you put a picture of Krishna, right, this picture in your house, there will be battle Kurukshetra in your house, isn't it? So morality, huh? Supreme morality is man mana bhava bhaktu. Madhya Jimam Namaskuru. Remember Krishna, become a devotee of Krishna. One must become a devotee of Krishna. The essence of all religion is to surrender unto Krishna. Yeah. Shikala?
From Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that to realize oneself by philosophical speculation and by meditation is one process, but to fully surrender unto Krishna is the highest perfection. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. The path of regulative principles according to the orders of social life and according to the different courses of religion may be a confidential path of knowledge. But although the rituals of religion are confidential, meditation and cultivation of knowledge are still more confidential. And surrender unto Krishna in devotional service in full Krishna consciousness is the most confidential instruction. That is the essence of the 18th chapter.
Okay, now. So from Bhagavad Gita, we can understand that to realize oneself by philosophical speculation and by meditation is one process. But to fully surrender unto Krishna is the highest perfection. This is the essence of the teachings of Bhagavad Gita. What does that mean? I mean, that question came up before also. What is this surrender to Krishna? How do you understand surrender to Krishna?
सभी प्रकार के धर्मों को त्याग करना, मतलब जो मैंने पहले बोला था वर्ण आश्रम नहीं, वर्ण आश्रम नहीं, मैंने जो बोला था पहले गलत ऐसे.
Yeah, so here,
हाँ,
Prabhupada is giving it here. The path of regulative principles according to Varnashram Dharma may be a confidential path of knowledge. All right? It is one part of confidential knowledge, Varnashram. But although the rituals of religion are confidential, meditation and cultivation of knowledge are still more confidential, meaning we should have knowledge. All right? Like we've used a lot of logic and we studied so many things, right? We use a lot of logic, but higher is surrender unto Krishna. So if we have knowledge, so to follow Varnashram Dharma, the rules and regulations of our prescribed duty, we do our duties, this is very good. But then everybody knows how much you may do your duty, there's no satisfaction. There's always something that goes wrong. You can't satisfy other people, and you yourself, you're not satisfied by just doing your duty, right? Parents do their duty and they are not happy, right? Teachers do their duty and they are not happy. Any leader, he will do his duty and he's not happy. People are not happy with him, he's not happy with the people, right? So meaning only doing our prescribed duty, it's incomplete. We don't find happiness in it. So that's why then we study the soul. What am I? So we study the soul. So this is knowledge. And then we ponder upon it. We think about it. So this is the meditation. We try to find ourselves, but surrender unto Krishna in devotional service, in full Krishna consciousness, the most confidential instruction, meaning that you could say that in doing one's duty, we still think we are the doer. And in philosophy, you think that by your intelligence and through your mind, you can understand. Surrender Krishna meaning, I can't understand. Krishna, please tell me. I can't do my work. Krishna, please guide me how to do. See the surrender. Is it clear? Surrender to Krishna meaning that, yes, you tell me, I can't understand. Chapter 9 of Bhagavad Gita. So this is the essence of the 18th chapter. Yes. Okay. Mala, you want to read?
Yes, Mataji, thank you. Hare Krishna. Another feature of Bhagavad Gita is that the actual truth is the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. The absolute truth is realized in three features: impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and ultimately the Supreme Personality of Godhead Krishna. Perfect knowledge of the absolute truth means perfect knowledge of Krishna. If one understands Krishna, then all the departments of knowledge are part and parcel of that understanding. Krishna is transcendental, for he is always situated in his eternal, internal potency. The living entities are manifested of his energy and are divided into two classes: eternally conditioned and eternally liberated. Such living entities are innumerable and they are considered fundamental parts of Krishna. Material energy is manifested into 24 divisions. The creation is effected by eternal time, and it is created and dissolved by external energy. This manifestation of the cosmic world repeatedly becomes visible and invisible.
Another feature of Bhagavad Gita, the actual truth, is the Supreme Person of Godhead, and we have spoken about the three phases of perceiving the absolute truth: Brahman, Paramatma, and Bhagavan. So, if one understands Krishna, then all the departments of knowledge are part and parcel of that understanding. So anything else that we want to know, it's part and parcel of understanding Krishna. And then Prabhupada speaks about Krishna's position. He is situated in his eternal internal potency, Swarup Shakti, in his own Swarup Shakti, which is spiritual, untouched by matter. And the living beings, the Jiva, are Nitya Baddha and Nitya Siddha. All right, the conditioned soul, they are Nitya Baddha, eternally conditioned, and there are those who are eternally liberated. And innumerable living beings are there. And we are considered fragmental parcel. Let's check it. Mama eva Mishra Jiva Loke. Let's check this. Which verse is it? 15. Mama
15.7.
Hmm?
15.7.
Yeah. The fragmental parts. The living entities in this condition was my eternal fragmental parts. So they're eternal. And they are fragmental parts of Krishna. Where is it? Yeah, Amsha. Amsha, meaning a portion. Material energy. So Prabhupada is just, putting a summary here. So he's speaking of Krishna, then the Jiva, then Prakriti. So material nature is divided into 24 elements, and creation manifests by influence of time, and it is created and dissolved by this Prakriti, external energy. Prakriti is manifested by the Maya Shakti. So cosmic manifestation, meaning repeatedly becomes visible and then invisible. So this is a summary of content of Bhagavad Gita. Yes. Anupama?
In Bhagavad Gita, 5 principal subject matters have been discussed: the Supreme Personality of Godhead, material nature, the living entities, eternal time, and all kinds of activities. All is dependent on the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Krishna. All conceptions of the Absolute Truth, the impersonal Brahman, localized Paramatma, and any other transcendental conception exist within the category of understanding the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Although superficially, the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the living entity, material nature, and time appear to be different, nothing is different from the Supreme. But the Supreme is always different from everything. Lord Chaitanya's philosophy is that of inconceivable oneness and difference. This system of philosophy constitutes perfect knowledge of the Absolute Truth.
Yes. Okay, so remember topics of Bhagavad Gita. 5 principal topics. So we're coming back again to the beginning, right? So, Ishvara, Prakriti, Jiva, Kala, and Karma. These are the 5 principal subject matters of Bhagavad Gita. But all of them are dependent upon Krishna. Karma, time, Jeev, and Prakriti, all of them are dependent on Krishna. And the absolute truth is perceived in 3 divisions, and everyone is within the category, exists within the category of understanding, meaning that if we want to understand Brahman and Paramatma, if we understand Bhagavan, then we are able to understand what is Bhagavan, what is Paramatma, what is Brahman. Anyway, I can't go back into all this. We have so much discussion already happened. This is a conclusion now. So, although superficially, now Prabhupada is speaking about Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. Although superficially, the Supreme Personal Godhead, the living entity, material nature, and time appear to be different, nothing is different from the Supreme. So, meaning these other elements, other four elements, they appear to be different from the Supreme. But actually, they are part and parcel of the Supreme. All right? But it doesn't mean that the Supreme is them. It doesn't mean that the Supreme becomes a Jiva. It doesn't mean that the Supreme becomes Prakriti. Although all those are part and parcel of him. So Achintya Bheda Bheda Tattva. The living entity in his original position is pure spirit. He's just like an atomic particle of the Supreme Spirit. He's just like an atomic particle of the Supreme Spirit. Thus, Lord Krishna may be compared to the sun, and the living entities to sunshine. Because the living entities are the marginal energy of Krishna, they have a tendency to be in contact either with the material energy or with the spiritual energy. In other words, the living entity is situated between the two energies of the Lord. And because he belongs to the superior energy of the Lord, he has a particle of independence. By proper use of that independence, he comes under the direct order of Krishna. Thus, he attains his normal condition in the pleasure-giving potency. So this is our position. Jiva originally is pure spirit. Same as the Supreme Spirit. But this Jiva come in touch with material energy and then becomes like extinguished. So he chooses where he wants to be, whether he wants to be with Krishna or he wants to be with Maya. All right, so this is the end of our Bhagavad Gita. And
Mataji, when are you starting Bhagavatam?
oh yeah, we should start. We should start soon, right?
Yes,
We should
Mataji.
soon.
Mataji, Ashwini is traveling from Mayapur to Pune. Her father is not doing well. He's in the hospital. I can't hear.